You guys remember when I did that half-hour reaction video to Overdress? Let's do it again. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the card table for yet another card game Vanguard, card game van fight. That's what we call it now. Leave that in. Another Vanguard video. There we go. Here on the channel. I know we're a little late this week if you're watching as the videos drop, because as you know, we try to do one video a week. But I've been doing a couple things recently, mainly my Pokemon randomizer Nuzlocke run. I've been streaming every Sunday night / we're going to try and do either Thursdays or Fridays. Still experimenting with the second stream day. That's been a lot of fun. Make sure you check out the playbacks because there's a lot of cool things that happen there. In addition, my locals have started to open back up just in time to test out a bunch of new Gear Chronicle cards. Let's give a real quick spoiler. Still doing some testing on the deck. There's a lot of things to tweak, but it's interesting, it's fun, let's just say that right now. And finally, I've just kind of been getting a little tired this week. I guess it's 34 too early to be getting tired quickly. I don't know, I'm old. But it's a good thing that I am partnered with the good folks at Raise Energy that provide us with this healthier Zero Crash energy drink. Big sip there for you guys. Don't forget to check out my link down below or just use code SKYRIDGE on checkout to save yourself 15% off. Plus for Tarkin Card Games, I guess I got a shout out. TCG store, link below. Business has been booming this week. It's awesome. I actually do have to stop by post office to pick up some more stamps soon because I'm running out. I've got like 4 or 5 orders to do from this week. All that does of course go back towards the channel as always, help me get some more stuff. Right now I'm looking into getting like a ring light and professional mic, some stuff like that to improve the quality here on the channel. But enough chilling, let's get on to the topic at hand. Roll the intro card. My Hero Academia shirt. It's the only one I have. I need to get more. Good show. I got this for when I set up my desk. Best boy right here. Jiro plushie back there. Best main girl. But you know I'm shipping Miku. Like literally steampunk inventor girl. Wife of the day. Should have made her a minor character. So, as you guys know, Bushiroad announced about roughly a month back that they're doing the reboot for Vanguard Overdress. They're doing the whole nation thing. And over the last few weeks, they've been kind of revealing the main key units for each trial deck. And this week they finally announced Brand Gate, which means I'm finally able to compare and contrast them all. And let's go ahead, kind of revisit that old video with speculation, actually talk about each deck. I know we don't have all the reveals quite yet, but we have like the main 3 units of each one, each ride deck, ride chain, whatever you want to call them. We got ride decks now. Vanguard rides don't matter because you will always have them. So I'm just going to kind of talk about the general aesthetics of them, the general themes rather, because the ride chains basically just say, if you're going to ride into this, do this, that, the other, and then the grade 3 does the big thing. So let's just talk about them in general. You guys, if you want card reveals, I'll kind of flash them on screen as we talk about them. So, starting things off to go in order, Keter Sanctuary, or as I like to call it, Morikawa the deck. This nation is filled with grade 3s, and I mean like every effect's based around like reveal a grade 3, do this, stretch a grade 3, do that to rescan some dudes. Bastion, I think his name is Bastion, is literally a Shurikaiser. Just drive check a grade 3, stand some dudes, give him power. So far in that seems kind of basic. We don't have a keyword ability like some of the other nations do, but there is a lot to play around with. We keep into account the fact that all of these old United Sanctuary clans basically let you like call out a deck or stack your top deck, kind of predict the future kind of thing for Genesis, OTT, and that kind of stuff. Still charge a little bit, I guess. As long as they keep with the themes of the clan inside the nation, which that's going to be the interesting thing down the line for Stoikea. But as long as they do that, we're going to be looking at a lot of superior calls, a lot of stacking, and combine that with the whole grade 3 reveal mechanic. I'm thinking you're going to be kind of manipulating your deck to make sure you always have those 3s ready to call and or drive check. Seems right. Not terribly excited by it, but more the fact the mechanic fusion of the calling and stacking, like, is a really good mixture of clans. Seeing where they go with that's going to be pretty interesting. I know one big thing a lot of people have said, which I will totally agree with, DP, they gave the one clan that has always been involved with drive checking grade 3s for effects like guard restrict or power ups and stuff like that is not in any way, shape, or form involved with Keter Sanctuary. Why Bushiroad? I understand you're not going to put DP in the Keter, but I mean, just like in general, you gave the mechanic that DP had to the non-DP nation. So big question mark there, but like it'll be interesting to see what happens. Excited for that. Counter Sanctuary, let's go. Dragon Empire. This is the main character's clan. I said clan again. Nation. I'm gonna keep on doing that. I don't want to say it, but I'm excited for them. Traditionally, which I'm gonna, my 50 sub special, which I know it's not a big goal, but we are at 47. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that ding button, tell your friends. But I want to do a big video both for new subscribers and for Vanguard's 10th anniversary, kind of a log of the main clans I play and like what I've done for Vanguard since I've been playing basically since day one. But traditionally, the main thing I really have done for Dragon Sanctuary has always been Narukami, particularly Eradicators, but Thunder Dragons are my jam. I don't really care about the other ones too much. I know I've dabbled a little bit here and there. Steel Dragons, Tachikaze's Prehistoric Gear Chronicle is my canon, stuff like that. Mainly, I care about that nation for Narukami. However, I like Dragon Sanctuary now. I might have to play some Dragon Sanctuary now. So they have the first of the kind of mechanic nations that have a keyword to them, and this is something I don't know is going to be shared eventually with other nations because their mechanic is literally called overdress, aka what the title of this series rendition of Vanguard Future 3000 Years thing is. So, speculation, comment below if you guys think overdress will be available in other nations eventually, or if it's just gonna be a Dragonic Empire thing and Bushiroad just announced a mechanic for one nation that they're gonna use as the selling point for the entire game. But how overdress works is kind of like an evolution where you have, I'm just gonna hold up some Gear Chronicle cards from my deck here. So they have their base cards, like Trickstar, their non-effect 0. That's called the original dress. And what they do is some cards, like the currently revealed Byrana? I think his name is Barry or something like that. Red Chronojet? What am I doing? He looks like a Chronojet. We're using Chronojet. I don't care. Some of those cards have an effect where you can normal call them. Has to be normal call, can't be superior call in any way, shape, or form. But you normal call them over the original dress units, so like over the Trickstar in this case. And then it becomes overdressed and gains some different effects. This is pretty cool. Move that card somewhere, say like the damage zone through an Angel Feather effect or like binding it or whatever. It does move the original dress, so you are moving a 2-for-1, which will be very interesting for some interactions in the future. Just the mechanic of like evolving units seems really cool and like unlocking effects as long as you meet the certain conditions. It does actually inspire me a little bit into a game I'm currently working on for Scourge Games. I guess link to my other channel that I have not used in years, and I really should post something on there, but whatever. It's for Scourge Games. I'm developing board games if you guys didn't know that already. Back to Vanguard, back to the topic at hand. Evolving units is really cool, and I love that aesthetic. In addition, just the aesthetics of the cards. Byron, like I said, is literally Red Chronojet. You guys know one of the reasons I love this card so much is his art. Just awesome steampunk dragon thing. Getting that Dragonic Empire is gonna make me want to build that. End of story. And they have a Phoenix Dragon for their main grade feature, Chimbar Dragon. I love Phoenixes. My favorite mythical animal. One of my favorite wooden coasters. You guys know this already. I have to build Empire for Red Chronojet and Phoenix Dragon alone. Evolving units is cool. So moving on down the list, I'm just gonna do these nations in order. We have Brant Gates, which is an interesting fusion because they have things like Dimension Police, the multi-attacks of Nova Grapplers, and the lock mechanic of Link Joker. This is something I was kind of excited for to see what they did with it. I was hoping for kind of a restrict deck that not only did some weird control elements like block, but maybe guard restrict that DP guide and stuff like that. And that's actually kind of what we got. Insert Horny Jail meme here. So Brant's mechanic is to arrest units, which actually is kind of combo based because it involves a new order card called a jail. And I'm assuming there's going to be more jails in the future than just this one, since the grade one just says search for a jail card when ridden, so there'll probably be more in the future than this first one. But this is interesting, like we actually have a set field spell kind of card in the game now, and there's a new zone on the mat for, I'll show a picture of the mat right now. There's a new zone on the mat that is for orders, which is interesting since we didn't have that before. You usually just needed an open spot on your mat to play it. Like even in the Bang Dream set, you play your order behind the Vanguard, and that's basically the order zone. But now we have a dedicated zone for that. But yeah, this jail's like a field spell kind of where you put all of the units that were arrested. And I'm assuming each one's going to have different costs and mechanics to it. Basically, this one says that in order to free one of your jailed units, you could either Soul Blast one on when you place the rear guard to get one back, or counterblast 1 when you place a unit to get 2 back. This is really interesting because not only do we have this kind of suspended state for your cards now, which isn't quite mine, but basically soft lock, I want to call it, I guess. It's all about interacting with resources, which is something I love. The game needs more interaction. This is something that we did. Now we have to be cautious not only of our placement of units normally, since who knows what's going to get locked or whatever, but how to free them. Like, we have to gauge our costs. Do we want to activate the Soul Blast based effect, or do I want to free one of my unit? Do I want to counterblast to do a cool thing, or do I want to grab 2 units back? In addition to that, these units will be superior called. This means we cannot overdress, going back to Draconic Empire, but like if someone has an on-play skill, we get it. This is great. I love the mechanics so much for Imprison. I'm gonna have to build a deck just for that, but I mean, we'll see in the future. Waifu Deep Police, or whatever they're gonna call it. Still waiting out for our Common Ride mechanic, Bushiroad. Give us more Sentai, give us more Toku heroes. Of course, have cards that let you imprison things. I think we've seen imprisoning from hand and field so far. Who knows what they're gonna do in the future. But once again, these start decks are very much just that. They're the start of the format. They're things that kind of introduce you to how each of these decks will play. And of course, the most important one, we have Dark State, aka Dark Zone, united by our boys down at Gear Chronicle, plus the one true Avatar Chronojet. I await your re-arrival, even though you probably just got turned into Dragon Empire with Red Chronojet and buried us. Anyways, they have probably the last mechanic that's been revealed so far, since, spoilers, Stoic doesn't have one. Final Rush. Now, legally speaking, this is a mechanic that puts you in a state. This means that you declare Final Rush every turn and kneel at the top of your lungs, so your opponent won't call judge on you for calling final turn. So basically, Final Rush puts you in a state of mind, I guess. Puts the player in the state. Doesn't even involve the card. It involves the player. You are the one declaring Final Rush. And it's something that you declare at the beginning of your ride phase. This will be before you're able to ride, obviously. So you can say, okay, I'm Final Rushing with my dude, riding to something cooler that will benefit from this Final Rush. Strider, if you're playing Premier or something like that. There's a lot of things that you can do with it, especially since the mechanic Persona Ride is essentially to re-ride and get a free front trigger on your units. But because this is a state and not an effect itself, it doesn't do much on its own. It just kind of enables units. From what we've seen so far of our Final Rush enabled things, it's mainly just small power-ups. So I'm really intrigued and excited to see where this goes. But from what we've seen off of their ace card, Violent Bruce, you basically get to restand all your Final Rush guys when he attacks. So there's a multi-attack there, but it doesn't seem to do too much. A lot of these other nations we've seen have their own way to restand stuff so far, so hoping it gets better. This is the one I have the most hype for right now because obviously Dark States we gotta represent. We are going to be a Dark States main, but mechanically they haven't shown us too much yet off the main 3. Looking at Cleans as a fusion, of course, we're going to have a lot of soul play, a lot of soul charging, a lot possibly calling out soul, stuff like that for Pale Moon. And Gear Chronicles, a weird fit there because they don't do too much with soul. They use a lot for costs, especially in standard, but Gear's mechanics kind of like calling cards in and out of deck and superior riding grade 4s. So I do want to see what they're going to do with that because there's a lot of stuff to play with. For quick speculation, if they do want to include superior ride tactic into Gear Chronicle, maybe the Gear grade 3s will be something that you could ride it to gain effect, then end of turn you superior re-ride into the other card. That way you could always say at your Final Rush and be like, Final Rush, ride my Gear card, go back, end of turn, go back to the other guy, next turn, Final Rush, do it again. And that way you can just like always have your Final Rush, but you're like re-riding into cool Gear cards if that's the thing. But the mechanic I do want would be kind of the time control, time leap, whatever you want to call it effect, where you're just sending cards in and out of deck. If we get that in Final Rush, I'll be very happy. Bushiroad, please give us more of the cards like this. You just gave us Time Reaper, you just gave us a great promo that does this. Continue on with that. Finally, last but not least, I'm keeping my goggles on for this, for Best Girl. We have the Waifu Clan. And I'm not talking break game. We already did that. We're Team Gumi here. Best Girl. Stoicheia, the one that's going to be impossible to pronounce forever. This one's a little weird, but a little good. Basically, from what we've seen so far, the main grade 3 Magnolia enables all of your back row to attack and gives them power up. This is their way of, I guess, saying they have multi-attack, since now you could have up to 6 attacks per turn. Good, bad, but not ugly. These are cute animal things. This is really cool. This is the game ender on its own to get 6 attacks on its own. Like, we've seen what Axel does. They can be ridiculously aggressive, and this is essentially Axel. But at the same time, trigger power-ups. Triggers will always shut down Axel-based clans, and that's just proof of what Stoichia does. The other stuff we've seen kind of revolves around looking at your top card, I guess, because we've seen most of Rad Chain does a thing where like you reveal a card, check your top card, and you can either call it if it's a unit or add to hand if it's an order. So they very much do deck manipulation / superior call, something that I was expecting to see on Counter Sanctuary, which is kind of interesting. But I guess it kind of makes sense. There's the whole Sage Stoichia thing. Maybe Stoichia came from Counter Sanctuary and migrated or whatever. Who knows? She is a sexy witch wizard. By the way, once again, we're playing witches for Keter if they come out, so give me some witch cards, Bushyroad. But in general, like, it seems like a very interesting nation. The fact that they're gonna have both multi-attack and stacking. Very excited to see where that goes. So that is a very quick overview of what we know so far. Not sure if I can say quick. It's going to be like a 20-minute video, but you know what I mean. Quick enough. Look at my hair. I'm not fixing that. You guys have to deal with weird hair for the rest of the video. What do you guys think? What nations are you excited for? What are you going to play? What do you think about these mechanics that each of these nations are getting? Personally, I'm very excited. Most hyped, obviously, for Dark States, but I could see something in each of these right now. I'm probably going to have to build all 5 decks in some way, shape, or form. Outro stuff. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, tell your friends. Once again, if we hit 50 pretty soon, we should be doing a big video to talk about all the decks I play and my experience with Vanguard, so I'm very excited to do that. Streams every Sunday. Right now we're doing a really cool Pokemon randomizer. Comment down below some other games that you want to see for PC. I'm working on getting a game card to do some of that stuff on my PS4 and Switch right now. And like I kind of mentioned at the top of the video, make sure to check out our affiliates, my page on TCG Player where I sell lots of cards for card game stuff, and of course Phase Energy, who does healthier non-crash energy drink that's actually really effective. I would not be part of it if it didn't work. So good. Code Skybridge down below. Until next time, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being part of the card table. I really need to think of an outro line, but always embrace the infinite.